Couple other things to note as it relates to our class. Post in the chat the course evaluation. If you would, please take some time to fill out the course evaluation and yeah, provide as much feedback as possible. This is feedback that's going to be given for the entire PD2050 class, not only this section, but also all the sections that are offered for the College of Engineering and Applied Science. This course is mandatory for all students, and so in terms of topics and so forth, feedback is appreciated. As it relates to this course, this is our last class. And so with that, you know, I will be accepting assignments all the way through the end of the semester. If you note that there is no grade, I will post those. That's my goal this week, is to update all the grades. And at the same time also, if you don't have an assignment posted, please get that uploaded as soon as possible so I could give you a grade. Some folks have sent me their final projects via email, and that is fine. And I will turn around and post a grade accordingly. So when we think about the course overall, I want to point out some things as it relates to the process, the course topics, and so forth. When we think about the idea of this class was designed to give you an opportunity to recontextualize the job search process, apart from the intro to co-op class, to contextualize it to a point where you're graduating and you're finding out a job after graduation. And so much of the skills and tools and resources that were outlined in the course was more so for you to consider how will you find a job after graduation, and outside of PAL. Many folks have gotten their co-op jobs through PAL, because of PAL. And so what happens if you don't have PAL? And so we talked about resources like the Occupational Dictionary, Indeed. We also talked about what you could be doing to strengthen your candidacy via certifications and things of that nature. And so the idea of the topics were intentional in terms of preparing you for that. Overall, this course offered you the opportunity to consider, what is your goal, right? What are your goals after graduation? Hopefully, you were able to get an opportunity to sort of write some stuff down in terms of what you want to accomplish, not 10 years from now, but within the next 3 to 5 years, including your graduation year. Much of the topics that we also discussed in this class were actually connected to your senior capstone class. If you recall from the class with the class session last week with Dr. Houston, there were some topics that were hit upon, like professional ethics, leadership, working in groups. Hopefully, we were able to tease that out a little bit. But more importantly, as you start forming your senior design groups, your capstone groups, you're able to articulate what you bring to a team, right? Not only using your strengths, and we spent a lot of, I brought up the Clifton Strengths Assessment for a number of weeks. Bigger picture is that, how do you articulate your value to a group? And how do you not only recognize what you do well, but also how do you recognize what others do well, right? And so that is something that was one of the pillars of this course. Finally, I think the one piece that has not been addressed fully yet, and we've now come full circle with this, is the e-portfolio. I know that the portfolio was touched upon on week 2, but more importantly, hopefully you were able to tweak it, add it, edit, revise, and add to the portfolio based on the topics that we hit upon in the week subsequent to week 2. The e-portfolio, for the most part, is an opportunity to not only communicate your value and also what you've learned, but it offers you a sandbox more than anything. The portfolio gives you an opportunity to practice your reflection. not only in terms of how you talk about an experience with an employer, but more importantly, if you are considering graduate school, and it's a considerable number of students consider graduate school, the ePortfolio offers you snippets and sound bites, if you will, that will help you frame your professional statement. Much of the content in an ePortfolio talks about not only reflecting on what you've done and what you've learned, but what you can become, right? And so many students who have actually gone through this class have used the ePortfolio as the skeleton, if you will, for their professional statement. Much of the professional statements students build for graduate school include who are they, how did their experiences inform who they are, and what do they want to do. What do they want to do applies to primarily their potential research agenda moving forward within a graduate program. And so the ePortfolio and the reflections from those experiences or co-op experiences help inform that type of statement. Additionally, the ePortfolio offers you, when you do a longer interview process with a company, you have some sound bites, if you will, that's rehearsed, not only in writing, but also if you review it and think about it and read it again and again, it becomes a well-rehearsed statement as you go through the interview process. Typically, students are talking about their experiences overall, but snippets within your ePortfolio offers you the opportunity to say, and this, when I was working here, or when I did this project, you're able to successfully articulate that reflection and that contribution, namely because you've written it out, right? And sometimes you don't have that opportunity unless you've done it through an ePortfolio. Finally, when you think about some of the other topics as we go towards the tail end of the course, the idea of licensure, financial planning, salary negotiation, those three in particular are focused, were topics that were developed or identified by students in previous classes. But more importantly, these are topics that a lot of students have as they go into the graduation year and as they consider that time after graduation and planning for their futures. And so hopefully those topics were helpful for you. And as we end out the school year or the academic semester, you can access those resources. They are also accessible via my YouTube channel, and I will post that as we end the semester. The Canvas course will be open until the end of the semester, so if there's any resources that you want to download or access or get a link to, you can access that at any time. And again, if you have not uploaded an assignment into Canvas, then please do so as we round out the last few weeks. I do not, because of the way our current situation, I will not take points away for lateness. More so, I'm grading for thoughtfulness and completion. As of this point, if you've done everything if you've uploaded everything, done everything I've asked of you, everyone has an A at this point. I'm trying to make this not only as comfortable for you, but also informative as we enter your final 2 semesters of co-op. Speaking of the final 2 semesters of co-op, what is going to happen moving forward? If you are continuing in the job search process, we will continue getting students positions. There should be a spreadsheet going out pretty soon. If not, I will send it right after this class to students who are searching, to our job changers, particularly in the 2050 classes who are job searching. I did pull job lists from various functions across several platforms, and then I also accessed Handshake for some of those jobs. And so if you are job searching or still job searching, I will get those lists out to you. If you are going back to your previous co-op employer, those registrations will be posted soon. We will be posting the registration for the spring and summer. Please keep in mind that you are doing a back-to-back co-op rotation, unless your academic semester says otherwise, or if you have a prearranged plan with me or your academic advisors. For the most part, everyone is completing a double co-op rotation back to back. With that said, you'll be registered for the spring, you'll be registered for the summer. You complete a spring and summer report, and more importantly, you'll be registered for the spring and the summer. That is something that we've always had, and the reason, and it's only fair that you have you're registered for the spring and summer, because at the same time, the students on the other side of the cohort are completing 5 semesters of co-op as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Are there any questions? There was Josiah is wondering about the final project due December 2nd. Yes, and I will accept all the way till the end of the semester, which is December 8th. I just need enough time to post grades. Grades are due to the registrar by 5 p.m. December 14th. What is the recommended start date for spring 2021? It's really up to you and the co-op employer. Many students actually start their spring semester early, depending on need and also time. It really depends on what you negotiate with the employer. Grades for the summer term. Actually, I will once I post grades for this class, I will also change grades for the summer term as well. So if you've posted if you've completed everything, and I think everyone has, I will change grades for the summer term. Is it one co-op fee for the double rotation or one per semester? It is one per semester. And again, it's only fair considering the students on the other side of the cohort are paying for 5 co-op rotations as well. And we recognize the co-op rotation and the co-op semester as part of the academic semester. Other questions? Okay. Well, thank you all for bearing with us during this semester. This semester has been a little rough in terms of transitioning everybody and moving everything online. But as we go into the final, as we head into the spring and summer, and your graduation year, we will be in touch, and we'll go from there. Thank you all.